no. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah. Experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the or no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming, everybody on a knot, ayy. It's a nuisance, Ordinal Revolution, ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, it's my guy for real, bro. Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. Started Satoshi's nothing above me. Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. With Shizzy and Yagobi, it's Ordinal Revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy, and on this channel we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What is up, guys? It is a good day. I have so much goddamn energy. I am hyped, guys. We are out here. We are just printing goddamn money all the time. It is insane. Dogs up, Bitcoin's up. We're just having an amazing day, and it's going to be an insane day. You know, I can push all this goddamn money all around, and then we are back. But without further ado, before I ruin the show, I'm bringing my partner, as always, Mr. Yagobi.
What's up, man? I didn't know you got a dollar bill gun. When did you get that? dollar bills, y'all. People printing off them dollars from their dog holdings, huh?
Yeah, man. So yeah, it's been a good day. You know, I had to yell at some teams. You know, it's having some fun. Nah, I'm just joking. It's you know, it's just been good. Energy's up today. I'm just hyped, man. I'm hyped on this ecosystem. I'm hyped on the you know, I'm hyped on our partner as well. As we see up there, we're going to be signing Ordinal Hive. It's not official yet, but it will be. And there's guys over there they're building, and it's really cool that, you know, we have another one to add to our collection of partners, and another team that's really we truly believe in. So that's pretty big.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, everybody knows Fonzie, and probably not so familiar with McDurr, which is the CTO of Ordinal Hive, but they're building something great. You know, it's going to be, I know, so there's some people that say, well, Blur, you know, wasn't, you know, didn't have the best intentions. It wasn't about that. Like, Blur in the bull market does very well for everybody. In the bear market, it can be tough, you know, obviously, if people are still trying to farm those points. But I think this is going to be really big for the ecosystem. It's going to bring a lot of attention, right? So Ordinal Hive is going to definitely, I think, do things very, very well in terms of doing the right thing, as well as they're building on Merlin chain as well. So they're going to have two different areas that, you know, that are going to be Bitcoin ecosystems that you can interact with them. So there's going to be a lot of points and stuff, a lot of ways to earn rewards and tokens and all that great stuff. So I'm excited to get into that once they do launch.
100%. I agree. And a lot's been happening around the ecosystem. We have Bob Lucas tweeted, he said the 4-year cycle is on month 19. Prior cycles topped at 35 months. So that's huge. So we have potentially, you know, 16 months. And that's kind of exactly on my timeline of when we're going to hit that 700K mark of the super cycle that we're in. Because I think the cycle actually started in January 2023. And I think that's why I say it's a super cycle. And I just think we're in the very, very early stages of this. The next 16 months, even Bob Lucas is saying, you know, if it does get to that target, I mean, we're looking at what next, I want to say like next December, next November, right? 2025 really being the peak. And that could be huge. You know, we all could be sitting here next year in a lot different situations.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking about that yesterday. I was kind of sitting there thinking about like how we've enjoyed the experience of our ecosystems running up, but I don't think we've really seen anything yet. Honestly, it's like because this whole space is still very new. It's a baby still. It's only, you know, maybe like going on a year and a half of the ordinals ecosystem, if you want to start there, old and hasn't experienced a true bull market time frame yet, right? Or, you know, timeline. But we have experienced like the beginnings of the bull market, or like, you know, getting out of the bear market. And we've had two great run-ups, I feel like, with the BRC 20s. But I think those are going to be like maybe like 10 to like 25% of the experience we'll see once we're in that full leg up. Whenever things are going, you're going to hear, you know, Runes tokens multiple hitting billion-dollar market caps and stuff like that. And I think that people aren't going to be ready for that, you know, even the OGs, because like we've seen what we've seen, but we haven't seen what's coming. And I think what's coming is going to be very, very aggressive.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. But I think it's going to be in steps. I don't think it's going to be like a straight shot. I think it's going to be like, you know, like 90K, and then everything going crazy, everything happening, and then everything kind of falling back down, and then like 140K, and then everything going crazy and everything going insane, and then everything kind of like balancing out again, and then 180, and then same thing, repeating up until the point where everyone thinks it's going to repeat for that very last time, and then it just doesn't. And then it goes the other way.
And then it goes, exactly.
I think it's gonna get like, it's gonna be like, hey, like it's gonna kind of like, I heard this story way back when. It was like this guy, he goes to his lady's house every day, gives her $100, gives her $100 every single day, and then to the point where she's expecting it, and then he doesn't come around anymore, and she gets mad and she hates him, right? And I think right, so think about it. It's like you get used to that money, and you get used to that, and then eventually just stops, right? And I think we're gonna see that here, but people, I think that happens at like 750K, and everyone's like, it's going to $1 million, it's going to $1 million, like everyone, you know, the entire ecosystem.
Bro, like if someone, and I get what you're saying, because it is human nature for minds to adapt to normalize things, but like if you're at 750K and you're like, I want more, then I think we got some problems. It's not going to be
us though. It's going to be the people who come in at 300K.
100%.
You know what I mean?
No, I think it'll be 350K. Those are the ones that this might be like their first full on cycle.
Yep, they got to learn their lesson.
They're really giddy. You know, that stuff. I agree with you. There's going to be that. There is going to be that. I agree. But one thing that you just mentioned was when Bitcoin goes up, it's going to be phases. I agree with that 100%. You know, Bitcoin gets to 90,000, then Runes ecosystem, everything pumps up, and it'll happen quicker than it did because we've dealt with the phases in our, you know, coming out of the bear market.
Very slowly,
we saw it.
Though.
Yeah. So what happens though, whenever Bitcoin hits a new price floor phase, so does the whole Bitcoin ecosystem, right? Runes, ordinals, and stuff. So the floors increase, right? And then so 90,000 increase floor, pull back a little bit, both. Increase to 110,000, increase floor, pull back a little bit, both. It'll start happening quicker and quicker, and we're at like 150,000. Then I think we're looking around like people like you and I and most of our community can be like, all right, we're
gonna be like, it's time to get some of these now. You know, it's time to get some of these, to trade in some of that something, and keep most of it in Bitcoin, obviously. But that's the plan for me. Is like I don't mind Bitcoin falling from 750 to 350. You know, that's fine for me. I'm not really worried about that too much because I know over time, you know, it's going to go back up, and I don't want to keep pulling that out and then, you know, have to potentially, you know, pay taxes on the Bitcoin and stuff like that. So for me, I want to keep as much of it in Bitcoin as possible and just take out what I need. Maybe, you know, like the thing where it's like there'll be signs, no one will know, but there'll be signs type thing. I think that's the way that I'm going to be doing it. Like, but man, jumping over. So the VanEck CEO says Bitcoin will eventually at least half the market cap of gold. I did the math today. Gold is at a $15 trillion market cap. Bitcoin is at a 1.3. So for Bitcoin to get to half, Bitcoin will have to get to 450,000. And I don't think that's bullish enough. So that's just to get the half, and that's right now. That's not saying gold. Like gold's probably going to go up as Bitcoin goes up as well, because they kind of move together. Just Bitcoin moves a lot faster.
But
so I think gold's going to be at 20.
Is he calling at the market cap now? Like 7 trillion, or is he just saying like gold in general? Like
he said moves? Bitcoin will eventually be half of gold.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Which I think is, I mean, so if gold gets to 20, Bitcoin's at 10, and if Bitcoin's at 10, we're at a $750,000 market cap. I mean, $750,000 per Bitcoin. So I don't know. Yeah. It's just all the signs are just pointing to there.
I wish I could buy Bitcoin at $750,000 market cap. That'd be freaking
I mean, that would be lovely.
My palace. Like, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Real quick, guys. Please, if you're watching on the YouTube side, smash that like, subscribe if you're not subscribed. On the Twitter side, please share the space. Let's educate as many people as possible. That's what we are about here. All right.
Yeah. So this is pretty big, and I want to share my screen for this one. So I'm gonna read it first, but this is actually kind of scary.
Yeah.
Unrealized losses investment securities for banks jumped to 517 billion. To put that in perspective, I'm gonna read out this whole article here. It's a tweet by the guys over at the Kabi Isli letter or something. I don't know. I can't really pronounce that name, but it said breaking news: unrealized losses on investment securities for banks jumped to 517 billion. This is 39 billion higher than the 478 billion recorded in last quarter, the quarter of 2023. The surge was driven by higher residential mortgage-backed securities, losses held by banks due to rising mortgage rates. Q1 2024 also marked the 10th consecutive quarter of unrealized losses, an even longer streak than during the 2008 financial crisis.
Wow.
So the reason this is happening is because we're at 5.25% rates, right? So they need to be cut. They need to be cut. This is scary. Like this is going to be worse. If this happens, Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million, but $1 million isn't going to be worth anything. It's not going to be worth nothing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, well, they're going to print so much money to back. Could you imagine right now coming out of COVID if they add the money that's going to be needed? I mean, $517 billion added potentially. Like this is scary, guys. This isn't even like I'm not. I mean, obviously bullish on Bitcoin for this reason, but this could really be. This could be that the crippling of the American empire for sure.
I definitely think it's put a strong dent into it, and it's just kind of not taking care of things and just putting band-aids on things the entire time. But then like things get better because you put enough band-aids on them and the economy gets a little bit better, but then you don't do the responsible thing when the GDP is like astronomically high and you're getting so many taxes, because it's like a young couple that mismanages their budget all the time, right? But they still like get in good money. They have an awesome sales job, like the husband or something, bringing in like, killing it one year at 350K, but then like they still buy all this crap and don't,
$30,000 diamond ring.
Yeah, exactly. That's how our government is really like, you know what I mean? And so it is scary. I do think that the Fed has a lot of eyes on them right now. So I think, printing a lot of money is going to be, highly frowned upon. But at the same time, I don't have faith that our politicians will try to hold them accountable and get them to not do it, because then they'll get convinced that it's going to make things better. But like the biggest thing right here is that banks are losing tons of profit. Because why? People aren't taking out mortgage. That's how they make their money, is through interest rates. And so I think you might actually be right with your prediction of cutting interest rates in the next maybe I don't know about this next month. We'll see. That could be a very good thing, because at the end of the day, the banks do need to bring in more revenue, because that's what's the problem is. And I read something that some of them could possibly report that they're going to be insolvent soon. So like you said, that's a very, very scary thing. I don't think it affects Bitcoin. Actually, I think it's going to give more value to Bitcoin. I think wealthy people in America will start to put their dollars into Bitcoin. I think it's going to just jump Bitcoin's price up, because you got to remember, America is not the only country, especially now, that holds a lot of Bitcoin. There's citizens everywhere now, which I think is like one of the best things, is that now America doesn't just control, the fate alone of something that's has to do with like global financial, a global financial resource, I would say, right? So we'll see. I think you might be right though. Honestly, I thought that we would be out further, but this news makes me think that it could happen. Shoot, it could happen this month, but maybe next month for sure. We'll see.
And it's kind of like I heard someone say like you show I'll show you the charts and then you show me the news, which basically means like, hey, the charts, like, the 4-year cycle indicates the news. There's always some news coming during this cycle, because that's what happens. And this could be that black swan that causes Bitcoin to go to that 750K.
Or
last,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Last time it was COVID that sent Bitcoin to, $70,000, right? This time it could be this mortgage-backed securities, really catalyst. Yeah, it could explode in value, and this could be it. You could see gold at 20 trillion. You could see Bitcoin at 10 trillion. This is all possible this cycle. Like, this is huge. And
You're not lying. You're not lying, guys. We have 150 people in here. Please put your questions in the chat. We will get to those in the Ordinal after hour.
Yep. And one more thing before we get to the Bitcoin price, Thailand approves their first spot Bitcoin ETF. You're going to see this keep coming. You're going to see every country eventually have a Bitcoin spot ETF. Now that the US has one, other countries feel like it's okay to do it, because the US is that the guard, right? So when they're okay with something, all the other countries are like, oh, you know what, they're okay with it, let's do it ourselves. So you're going to see this more and more happening within the next couple months for sure. I mean, I can see every country by the end of the year having a Bitcoin spot ETF. So
yeah, for sure.
All right. If you wouldn't mind, kind sir, kind of show us what is going on with the king right now. I see him at 69,911 on my chart. What do you got?
Yep. I got 69,920. 25, 38. I'm using the Coinbase Bitcoin USD chart. It's close enough, I think, to you're probably using Binance. But yeah, so definitely woke up today. Like to see it, like to see the energy of Bitcoin. But as you mentioned earlier, pre-show, that could cause a little bit of sell-off in some other assets, like Dog could be selling off a little bit just because people want to be in Bitcoin. You'll probably see some ordinals go down some when Bitcoin goes up. And if Bitcoin really does break back above 70,000 and really tries to take its own, I guess, get aggressive again and get past 72.4, which was the 2-week high. I think that, it could go on a good, decent sized run, maybe try to tease 78,000, 80,000. That would be amazing. But this is where we are right now, right? So this is a little bit different than what we've seen the past couple of weeks. It just crossed over 70,000 on my chart. The past couple of weeks, it was always Monday up past 70,000. And then for the rest of the week, kind of trending down a little bit. Right.
Yeah.
And so, but today, Tuesday, it looks like it wants to cook again. It seems like, right. So back above 70,000 just now. And let's see kind of on the daily chart here, this will be our second green candle if we end the day positive, which I have a feeling we will. But yeah, that's kind of where we are. It's going to be interesting because we kind of didn't know what to expect. June 1st was this big day for Bob Lucas, and option A or option B. We kind of said probably option B, just the way things are going. But now let's see if option A can say, let me see if I can inject my energy.
I feel it, bro. I just feel it. I have a gut feeling that we're about to explode. Like everything, like the energy is just there. Every single. I'm a YouTube junkie, right? And I watch a lot of different YouTube stuff. I watch Kusama stuff. I watch a whole bunch of stuff, and everyone has that same feeling of explosion. It's only a certain amount of time, and you can give me the argument that if everyone thinks it's going to go one way, it usually goes the other. Okay, I agree. That's definitely something possible. But this just feels different. It feels different. It feels like, a lot of bent up frustration, and it's just going to explode. It's going to smash through that wall, and it's not going to stop.
Yeah. So I think the key numbers to look for today, it's going up. It's at 70,240 right now, and it keeps moving up. Let me get back to my chart. We just entered into the overbought territory, but this is the hour chart, so we could hang out here for a while. Look, we were down in the oversold since well, I guess yesterday is the hour chart, so not too long, but like all day yesterday. When you look at the hour chart, usually whenever it goes into the overbought or oversold, it does hang out for like at least half the day, I would imagine, because each candle is an hour, so you know how that works. I think the key price points to look for though is going to be 72.4 is that next, high that we got to get past, that we haven't been able to really get to. We haven't even been able to break past 71,000. So maybe that's the first number, 71,000. If we can break through that, then the 72.4 would be the next one to look for. If we get past 72.4, man, it's the gates have been opened, in my opinion.
100%. I agree. 72.4 is that number. I'll look forward to it. Shout out 626 Rips, man. So the goats are back at it again. Shout out you, my friend. Thank you, my friend.
Appreciate you.
Let's get right into the roll call here.
Let's do it.
So let's see who's here. There it is. So okay, we got Danny Boy. First is first. Yes, sir. You are first. Congratulations to you, my friend.
Danny.
You are the true winner today. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Yazir in that second spot. Shout out Yazir, man. He is always here, my man. Todor, Cache Catch, like we like to call him, Coach K. He's in the building. Let's go, dog. We got the poor guy. We got John, the poorest guy in the chat. Shout out John. We are sorry, bro. We're gonna make you money, John. We're gonna get you out of that hole that you're in. Super fan. Shout out Super fan, man. You are a legend. Thank you so much for being here. No, he's in the building. Green Man, I Walk Alone, Nicholas, Canada. I want to say Cage for some reason. But shout out to you. Ordinal Tweets, Mighty Sonu, Tim Baker, AOD Art. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Tim Madden, TKO, Cheaty. And then we got the Patty Poo. We got the machine and stuff in the building. Chain Watchers here. Dan H, Akala, Chief Axel, Cord Miller. My man, this dude's been here every day this week. We appreciate you, my friend. Reneto Viana, the first time I see you here. Go dog. Thank you so much for being here, my friend. Joseph is in the building. Lucky Lukey is here. Brokoshi, my man, welcome back, my friend. Let's see. Crypto Hot News is here. Disclosure Crypto, BJJ Zach, and then Superman himself. Last is last. Yes, sir. You win today as well. You all win today. We appreciate every single one of you guys being here. 169 people here, man. Thank you, every single one of you guys for being here.
Heck yeah. Showing up. That's what it's all about, guys. Showing up each and every day, right? Getting involved, not like losing focus and, just not being able to at least touch in the ecosystem once a day. It could be for 5 minutes. It could be, for an hour, but just be consistent is what we live by, and it's worked out very well for us. So
yeah, we've been consistent going on, over a whole year now of putting out these podcasts or live streams now, which is awesome.
Yep.
But jumping over, we have Starkware, or ZK Stark, as other people like to call him. It's now time to scale Bitcoin with ZK Stark, moving it more accessible to everyone. This overachieving goal to transform Starknet into self-custodial, decentralized layer 2 for Bitcoin and Ethereum. This is something I saw the headline for, but you actually had a little bit more information to this about UDI and stuff. Could you break it down a little bit?
Yeah, so it looks like what ZK Stark is trying to do here is to scale Bitcoin. For them to be able to do this, they need Opcat added to Bitcoin Core, right? So this, I believe this makes me think that they were part of the initiative, right? With UDI into being able to get Opcat added. What I read in the post was that, that's like the missing piece. Once they get that, and I believe what they're focusing on isn't like on-chain computation as much as, other than smart contracts to bridge, more than it is the actual bridge, right? So they want, and I heard Udi speak on a space about this, and really the focus is to just get the bridge permissionless and using a smart contract that will be able to bridge over assets to the layer 2. And the way that they would be able to configure that would be, the language wouldn't matter for the chain that it's going to, because you'd be able to configure the smart contract that way, right? As long as it does have smart contract capabilities on the layer 2. So that's interesting, and it's exciting because now this post makes me feel like it's has even more of a chance to really, be added. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I agree. I think you're bringing in bigger people. from the other side, and they're saying, hey, like this is going to be huge for Bitcoin, big for the chain. And the miners have their ears perked, because every transaction that is bridged out, the miners are probably going to make a nice penny off that, because it's not going to be your single transaction. It's probably going to be a lot bigger, because it's probably going to cost more. So the miners, they're a business, right? They want to make fees. So for them, they own the hash power. You can say anything you want about a lot of these maxis, but a lot of them don't have much hash power at all. And it's really going to come down to make a business decision. And I think the business decision will be opcat or something similar, another opcode, something to get this bridge working to where it's seamless. And having guys like ZK Stark, I mean, they've built an amazing layer 2 on top of Ethereum. Let them build the layer 2 on Bitcoin. Let's get some of these transactions to an actual layer 2 instead of a sidechain. And I'm down for that, which will allow things like Merlin to become a layer 2, because they could use that same exact bridge.
Exactly. Some people might be worried, oh, what does that mean for Merlin? Actually, probably just a lot, easier and quicker to come in and out, right? Coming in to Merlin doesn't take too long. I think it's like 4 blocks, but coming out is where there's a little bit more work involved with making sure correct assets and stuff like that. But yeah, so this could be really big for the entire ecosystem. I actually think this would be really good for Merlin, because they already have a big head start for their user base now and all the stuff. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Zero knowledge proofs and using that whole ZK Stark, ZK Snarks, and all the names for the zero knowledge protocols and stuff has been a conversation over here for a while, right? Like you have the ZK Stark Pro and Jay Lee from Bison Labs that has been working on this kind of stuff for a long time. So we'll see if it happens, though. I don't think that will be ready until maybe like early next year. There's a lot of development that needs to go into that, and we've seen with Bison Labs, but Bison Labs not working with Opcat added, right? So I just feel like it would be something that would still be delayed, but be very, very, in my opinion, good for the Bitcoin on-chain economy.
Yeah. And this third month, this will turn months into weeks, I think, for a lot of these builders. When they say, "Oh, we're still working on stuff," it's going to take months. I think that's when things start to take weeks, and we see real building and real bridging by like January and February. That would be insane. That would be insane for Bitcoin, and it would do a lot for this entire chain. But moving on here, Dog flipped Bome, the book of memes.
I thought it was
actually huge.
Book of memes. Okay, no, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And then next on the target list is Bonk, Floki, Whiff, Pepe, Shib, and Doge. I think we're about to just it's going to be that meme of that Mr. Reaper knocking on the doors, and we're gonna knock. So we just knocked out Boom. We're gonna knock out Bonk, Floki, Whiff. How long does this take before we're? I want to say up to Whiff, because Whiff's at 3 billion.
Man, that's the thing, is that it got up until I say the next one that's going to be a little bit difficult is actually Bonk. Bonk is at 2 billion.
Yeah.
Right. So let's get Dog over 1 billion first. I feel like it seems pretty imminent, but today was a little bit weird because I felt like it was going to happen before our show. The way that it was like pushing up, it got to like, I want to say it got to, what was it, like 950 million. So at the high, and so 50 million, off. I would think that would be pretty easy to just go ahead and capture 50 more million. But you mentioned that Bybit launched them today on their exchange, and that could have something to do with the pullback a little bit after they officially launched. That you said that there's just trader games that happen and stuff like that.
Yeah, 100%. So Bybit official, the 4th sex in the world, just listed Dog perps. We did it. Dog is now on a tier 1 sex. This is a tweet by Leonidas. This is huge, but at the same time, now you have to remember this gives the option to short. You see a lot of people. What normally happens when stuff gets listed, it'll usually get hyped into that. And if you've seen this morning, when this was announced, it flew up. It flew back up to like 9.96, but then it got shorted on that exchange, and it got hit pretty hard down. You said you saw it as low as 8.4, right?
8.6, and it literally went from 0.094 to 0.086, which I mean, if you're in a long position,
Yeah.
can give you a heart attack, right? And so yeah, that definitely would, and you can see it on the chart.
That'll wake
Like,
you up. Yeah.
yeah, there was definitely like it just wicks so far,
Yeah.
and you don't know how far that is. And then even if a new candle starts, you're like, you take a deep breath, because if that new candle starts red, it can continue that momentum, right? And so, with that being said, obviously, it built back up because dog isn't down at those prices. It's just more of, like you said, kind of the liquidity trader games that happen, and you could see that on Gate.io, as well as the coin market cap price does kind of follow what these leverage platforms use. So, but with that being said, if you look at Magic Eden, right now we're like at $921 million market cap, right? So for me, the big thing is getting past 1 billion. If we get past 1 billion without Binance or OKX, then I think once those announcements happen, we're talking possibly 1.5 billion, right? And then I think that's whenever we're looking more seriously at, okay, the next one it can dethrone is Bonk. But the ones that are coming up now that it needs to dethrone, there's a lot of respect on those meme tokens because they've been around for a long time. Can you read them again? There's Bonk. I think is Floki next after that?
It's so we just passed Boom, and then it's Bonk, Floki, with Pepe, Shib, and then Doge. Doge being the king. I think getting the Doge would be ridiculous. We'd have to get on one of those big sites
Coinbase.
like Coinbase or Robinhood. That's the only way possible to kind of compete Doge. But I definitely see us getting the whiff. Whiff's at 3 billion. Bonk's on Coinbase, so that one's going to be tough unless Dog gets listed to Coinbase. But which could definitely be possible. I mean, I don't see why not.
Well, Whiff
is higher than
Bonk, though, I think.
Whiff, I'm not sure if Whiff is on Coinbase though. But yeah, Whiff is 3 billion. Floki's at I think 2 billion. I think Bonk's at like 2 billion. So
yeah, there's some giants that it has to
slay for sure.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but I definitely have faith that it will, man. The momentum that has been carrying with this token has been pretty insane. The fact, and it's like a constant daily shill by Leonidas, but it's not like it doesn't feel scammy like if Pauly was to do it on Ethereum or somebody else like that, right? Like that old what was his name, Ben.eth or whatever. This is like Leonidas has been here in this space for a long time. He runs and manages Ord.io, and so he has a lot of skin in the game over here. So that's why I think these results are more long lasting than if some other large following account did this.
And I was thinking, I was like, what's the incentive for Leonidas? Obviously, he talks about he has like 3 runestones or 3 different wallets and stuff like that, but that's not real incentive. The real incentive is for this market to pop, and then people use Ord.io to start like minting and stuff like that, right? So obviously, the bigger Dog gets, the more people are going to be like, well, what's the next dog? And that's when they're going to stuff like that. And so that is an incentive to push Dog to $10 billion market cap, is because then people start thinking, well, this happened with this one, it could happen again. And then they start taking lottery tickets, and by doing that, you're just minting and minting and minting, which it's fair mints, it's free, it's technically free. And what you're doing is you're feeding Bitcoin to get stronger, you're feeding the hash power, you're feeding the miners. So it's a win-win for everyone. So I really took a step back and I was like, why is he pumping it so hard? Like, what is he incentivized? And I thought, it's Ord.io. It's Bitcoin. He's doing it for the culture. He's doing it for Ord.io, and he's doing it for the miners, which is huge.
Yeah. Yeah. And yeah, I think one of the biggest points too that pretty much follows into what you were just saying is if Dog gets to like $3 billion, it's let's say it's the hottest meme token like in crypto. Because we haven't had the hottest token in crypto ever. There's always been like other tokens, whether it's Pepe or on ETH or a Solana meme token that's had more attention because those market caps can get higher. I think it changes the game for the Bitcoin ecosystem, right? Ordinals, runes, even BRC20s, whatever, right? People are just going to be interested in, okay, that Bitcoin meme coin Dog got to $10 billion market cap. what else is over there, And I think by then too, like there's going to be a lot of releases of ecosystem stuff, technology over here will get better and stuff, hopefully. So I think the future is definitely bright, and it will be even brighter if Dog can get to those numbers.
I agree. This is a question you put out today. I'm gonna throw it back at you. Dog, it's happening to 1 billion market cap today.
86.9% of people in 99 votes, so almost 100 votes there, says yes. 13.1 says no, but I don't know. We'll see if this ends up playing out like a sports bet, because usually if there's 86 on one side to cover a spread, it's usually they don't win unless it's just so obvious. But maybe this is one of those obvious dominating situations, right? But we will see. There's still 20. Let's see how many hours left in today. There's like about 13 and a half hours left today and over here Central Time. So we'll see if it makes it. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think it hits the 1 billion today?
If it does, it's not going to be for long. I think that wall at 1 billion, which is 0.01 at 1 cent, is monstrous on Magic Eden. Like it's going to take like between $200,000 and $300,000 to kind of clean that wall up. And
that's nothing though. $200,000.
But the problem is though, is normally what happens is people start adding more to that wall. If 100 buys come in, people start saying, you know what, let me get out here. So that wall just gets, it's bigger as it's getting eaten up. So that $200,000 might turn into $1 million. So which still, I mean, it's not insane. I mean, you see $1 million buys all the time, but like it would have to be an exchange. It would have to be Kraken. It would have to be Binance. It would have to be someone big coming in to pick up all that off the ground there, off the floor.
Yeah.
So, but do I think it's going to happen? I think it's going to happen. Whether is it today? I don't know. That's kind of my thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think we all think it's going to happen. But today is the question. Today, good sir, is it going to happen today? We'll see. We'll see. If
I had to bet my hard-earned cash here, I would say no.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
My poll says yes. You say no. We'll see if the people are right or if Shizzy's right.
Yeah, we'll see. We will see. All right, guys, we're going to jump you guys through some runes. Check out what is going on in the ecosystem. We got Feihu sitting at $25, about 1% down from yesterday. Dog Go to the Moon, it's still up 6% from this time yesterday, which is still pretty big. It's pretty awesome. RSIC up 12%. This got all the way down to about 15 yesterday, up at 17.4. Pups World Peace. This one flew overnight, up 41%. It was at $150 million market cap yesterday. Today it's up to 12. I saw this comment and I didn't buy any. I had the Bitcoin on the side and I just didn't, for whatever reason. Regret it now. That 40% would have been nice. What do you think is driving Pups right now? Do you think it's the entire ecosystem?
Well, the ecosystem definitely has something to do with it, because there's focus on Dog Go to the Moon, and we talked about this yesterday. There's other people from outside of our ecosystem that have big followings that have been talking about Dog Go to the Moon. So their audience are probably like, okay, well, that's pretty expensive right now, almost $1 billion market cap. What else can I get over there that could pop? And they're probably checking, right? So that I think that has something to do with it. Probably not a ton. I think their community is probably also back in a little bit, saying, okay, this is going to pump back up. But that is a pretty substantial increase. They almost doubled, right? So, hey, that's a good sign for the Pups community. So congrats on that.
100%.
The thing about this though now is I feel like Pups can like really run if it builds back that same energy and momentum, right? So it's kind of like, oh man, like this could be one to keep your eye on. And if it dips a little bit lower, there could be good entries here. That's kind of how I look at it.
Yeah, I hear that, dude. I agree. I think it's time to start looking for stuff that hasn't really ran yet, and that could be the stuff that runs really soon. In that fifth spot, we have the bank of Nakamoto dollar. This is a $70 million market cap. Epic, $67 million market cap over the move it made over the weekend. Lobo to Wolf Pup. This is at an all-time high here at $58 million market cap. Lobo is really following Dog. Could Lobo get over $100 million market cap?
Man, like if you asked me this 2 weeks ago, I would say
Yeah.
no. But that change they made for you to be able to stake it on their
Yeah,
website, I feel like that was such a pivotal moment for
it was.
Lobo the Wolf pup, because ever since then it's really been, it was slowly at first trending back up, but now, like you said, it is kind of following dog. I do think that it can get above 100. But that's going to be a pretty major milestone for this token, in my opinion. If it
Yeah.
does happen, then it could open up a little bit even more. But I think there's going to be resistance, though,
Yeah.
between 80 and 100 for them, because that's, like I said, that's a pretty big milestone. We'll see what happens. So far,
Yeah.
so good by their team making that decision. I think that was the first big good decision they made.
I agree. I think that this is going to get listed on exchanges as well. I think they're going to look at this and say, hey, what's some of the other ones we can list? And Lobo was a fair mint. I don't think the team got many doors and stuff like that. So I'm definitely, and this is a big number here: 1,000 trades in the last 24 hours. Like if you look over here, Epic got 124. Bam Nakamoto 164. Even World Peace up 41%, up 479. This is 1,056 Lobo the Wolf Pup. So that's huge. That's double pretty much everything else, even over decentralized. Like it's pretty crazy. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason why I do think it gets over 100 million, and that's a full double from here. So
yeah.
Moving on, we have decentralized up 15% on the day at a $55 million market cap. Satoshi Nakamoto up 20%. I'm sorry, 9.20% on the day, sitting at a $51 million market cap. Runes X sitting at a $39 million market cap. And then we have Runix token sitting at $31 million market cap, down 6%. Wanko Manko Runes sitting at $17 million market cap. Cats in the Sat sitting at a $17 million market cap, up 12%. Zbit Blue up 11% on the day, sitting at a $13 million market cap. Wada Wada Pengu sitting at a $13 million market cap, up 33% on the day. That one's a sleeper. And Gob up 50% on the day at a $13 million market cap. Absolutely insane. And the Donald looking like it's doing pretty good again. Donald Trump sitting at 17.5 sats at a $12 million market cap. And then Bones of Bitcoin sitting at a $9 million market cap, up 64% on the day. That one is a runner. It's a track star. And then we have Mr. Yen, Japanese businessman, down on the day, down 5% at 27 cents at a $5.5 million market cap. And that is your top 20. I'm going to stop there. Is there anything in here that you were bullish on?
Well, I mean, the Bank of Nakamoto is something that they've gotten back to their $70 million market cap. Let's see what happens now. I feel like pretty much everything that you hit on just now, I feel like is on point. There isn't anything that really stuck out to me in terms of that one has a huge like just sticking out opportunity. One thing I was thinking about though, like we talk about Mr. Yen a lot just because we love the meme. We love the stonk. No, the meme. But 27 cents, right? And it's been able to hold that price floor really well the past week. And I'm thinking, like, is this one that you think can get to 100 million? I know we've talked about this before, but like just thinking about it, right? 100 million is what? $21?
Yeah.
$21. So that's pretty high.
Yeah. I mean, we're sitting right now. We're sitting at 25 cents. You're telling me that's huge. So I'm gonna say it can get to like $100 million market cap, which is like $5. I think that is very fair for Mr. Yen.
That's what I meant. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't see Mr. Yen getting listed on exchanges just because the fact that it is controversial a little bit. It can be seen as racist in some people's eyes, not ours, obviously, but like it's controversial at the say the least. So I don't see it getting listed on exchanges, but at the same time, I do see it being one of the leading memes here.
Like a cult following kind of situation.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. 100%. So I do think Mr. Yen will do very well. And $5 is still a huge amount of X's. I mean, that's like a 50X. So
yeah. I don't know, man. Like maybe I need to revisit the way I look at it. I just, I don't look at it that same way. But
Yeah.
you brought it up a couple times now, so I don't know.
It's ju-
I
like
just,
it's being like a white guy. It's like you have to be careful on everything. You got to be very careful. You can't piss anyone off. You know
hey,
what I mean?
yeah, but I
I'm
don't
just
want a
saying.
white guy telling a half Asian guy how to feel about Asian people. No,
I just don't know. It's one of those things where I just don't know.
that's like
You
how
know,
America
like,
is right now. It's like
it
you
is.
got
You
a
just don't
bunch of
know.
like left-minded white people telling minorities how to feel about themselves, and I'm like, I am me, and I love my culture. I know how to feel, but anyways, we'll
I'm just saying the HR of a lot of these big exchanges might be.
Oh,
Like,
HR? You talking HR in crypto?
well, I'm just saying you got to remember. I'm sure Coinbase has HR. I'm sure
Oh, yeah.
Binance has an
Okay,
HR.
yeah,
You know what I
but
mean? Like that's what I'm
what
saying.
is going to get listed on Coinbase in here? Maybe one has an outside shot.
Well,
and that's
dog,
just,
definitely.
outside shot.
Yeah.
As of now, if it gets past a certain amount of market cap, then yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, moving on. Yeah, so that one, and I think that's it, man. Like I'm excited to see what Fehu has. Like, they got people excited about something because their price jumped up not long ago. We'll see. I'm waiting for that big ecosystem move up, right? The big ecosystem move up is whenever dog is at 1.5 billion. All these run. Some of these get to 100 million. Some of these make people six figures, stuff like that. When people's, you'll know because you'll see it on the timeline. And I feel like we started that process, right? Because everything has phased up. We're definitely in a way better spot than we were a month ago in rooms. So
100%. I agree. This is something that I actually think is good news because I kind of want to get this kind of out of the way. Binance founder CZ Zhao begins prison sentence in California. This is something that's good. It's kind of like, let's get this out of there. Let's get CZ back out in October, and then have this whole thing kind of washed away. You can't really say Binance founder is in prison anymore. You know what I mean? It was just finished. Binance will look good again, and then CZ will kind of do his thing and keep building because CZ is a builder. And I'm just glad that this begins so that it can end. You have any response on this?
Yeah. How long is it? It's
4 months.
Okay,
4
months. Yeah.
Yeah.
4. Yeah.
I thought that was funny. It's 4 months.
Yeah. I mean, I think this is, it is good to kind of just get this knocked out, like you said.
Yeah.
But I don't think it's going to be in the news for very long. 4 months, probably going to feel like 4 years to them. But I'm sure it's not like some, high security prison or anything. He's probably like in the
very chill, relaxed
nice
area.
Probably got Netflix subscriptions and stuff in there.
And CZ might slip a guard, $100K to kind of be nice to him. We'll see. But
more jail time. I'm just kidding.
Yep. This is Tap Protocol. 48 hours to go for the Tap token launch on CoinList. Closes at 5 p.m. UTC on Wednesday, June 5th. Question for you. I thought this would pump the Tap ecosystem. It has not. If anything, it has pushed the Tap ecosystem down. Why is this going the opposite way that I thought it was going to go?
Well, I mean, I think the thing is that people aren't holding Tap tokens, right? And so whenever you hold a token and it actually gets on an exchange, I think that's different. This is like the highest level of an IDO, right? Is basically what this is, right? And so I don't think that there's a ton of moments where an IDO pumps anything. People get excited about it. And then after it gets released, then typically what happens actually is that token will start like at a certain market cap and it'll sell off some and then retrace if we're in the right market conditions, right? And it'll retrace and go even higher. So what I expect to happen if that happens here is it will be released to the holders. The market cap will probably start pretty high. It'll sell off a little bit, or how much ever it'll sell off, and then if things are bullish and stuff, people are bullish about Tap, then it will go higher than what it started with the IDO. I think at that point, Tap tokens will probably take off.
Okay, that makes sense. So when do you see that happening? I guess a month.
Well, I mean, I think you said it that CoinList has partners and stuff with exchanges.
They do. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and they want Tap to be successful because
They do.
Coinlist has a good reputation, right?
Yep.
To have their tokens that list with them do well. You know, they listed
Yeah.
Solana, or they did an IDO for Solana. They did multiple. I think Filecoin was one of them. Multiple different coins that ended up doing well. So I think maybe 3 months afterwards, we will know a definitive answer on like if this was bullish or not for Tap and its ecosystem.
Yeah. 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 I actually think that it's going to be a while before Tap's ecosystem kind of goes up. I think we're going to need to see something first. I think a lot of these promises that were being promised aren't going to be as big as they say they are, right? So I don't know anyone who's tested promises. I mean, there's some stuff that's happening right now with the ICP ecosystem. Like that news came out yesterday. That was pretty big. But like, when are we going to be able to see something? When are we going to see like something that comes from that? I think it's going to be a few months. I think it does. It definitely does have its point in the cycle where Tap's ecosystem does blow up. But is that going to be this year? I don't know. It might be a while before this really starts to get going, and it really depends on the deployment of the of the ecosystem, the deployment of the infrastructure, the wallets, the swaps, the DeFi stuff. I think that's going to be a while, and I think this is going to be a waiting period. I think they have their funding now that they want it because from all these sales, and they can probably start hiring people to kind of push things out a little bit. But I think it's going to be a little while. I think track holders are going to be it might be a slow dip before it pops back up.
So. Yeah. If you remember 2021, late 2021, when everything was still really bullish and liquidity was kind of being flowed into different layer 2s and ecosystems, they were just hustling. They were working so hard, like all these devs, because they were trying to take advantage of the bull market still, right? I think that's what happens here. You know, when we're in the stage of where things are like flowing, money, liquidity is flowing everywhere, then, these meta protocols will start to like push stuff out, more impressive looking things, stuff like that. Like they will make it work somehow, right? And I think we're going to be blown away at that point, because we're going to be like, where was all this last year? Whenever we were waiting forever. And during that period, I think it's going to be like every week something new and hot is going to come out in Bitcoin's meta protocols, because believe me, there's people that want Atomicals to have their moment for liquidity. There's people that want BRC20s to have their moment, Tap tokens, and obviously runes are going to be the first, in my opinion. But they all want some of that liquidity, and they're going to put out whatever they think the public will ooh and ah about, right? That's going to be an indicator that, hey, we are in the muck of it all, which is great. Everybody's, popping open champagne bottles and beers flowing through the streets and stuff. But it's also an indicator to let you know it's time to, put some stuff to the side, So because you can get mesmerized by all that, like, and it never ends, because there's something new, hot and attractive that's going to be like, hey, and it makes so much logical sense to you during that time. I'm sure you went through that too. You're just like, oh my god, like this is changing the whole financial system and blah 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 at the time, right? The way they're doing staking and stuff. Finally, like I get to put my money to work for me, like the big banks do, and all this stuff. But as you could tell from last cycle, that many of those projects kind of faded out. Some are still here today, like Aave, which those you really got to know and have your instinctual feeling of projects like Aave.
100%. I agree with you. So final question on this: when moon 2024 or 2025?
I think late 2024 and early 2025.
All right, you guys heard it here. Yagobi says moon. Late 2020.
Right now, Bitcoin says right now, though, because it's at 70,500. It's moving.
That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. 251 people in here, guys. Thank you guys for showing up. We got about 5 more minutes until we get into the Q&A.
Yeah, and there's not many questions in there, guys. You guys must not want us to stay. There's some questions, there's some comments in there. We'll get to all that stuff. Throw it in there. Really curious what you guys are bullish on. Let us know what you guys are bullish on. Let us know what you guys want us to talk about tomorrow. There's some stuff in there, guys. There's some comments in there. This is pretty big. Layer 1 foundation, the swap module is coming. I don't know if the Unisat and a Layer 1 foundation, they're completely different, right? So this is Layer 1's their own
No,
swap
this
module?
is what they've been working on together.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought this was pretty big.
Standard. It's basically a standard is what they're putting
So
out there.
what
Open
we
source.
already have the swap module then?
We have the swap module, but it's not fully, with all these new additions and stuff like that. So what this is going to be is a completed version of it, right? So mainnet will be able to, in theory, add liquidity pools with like Bitcoin and stables. Basically, what they're saying is you guys are going to be able to get what you can get like on Merlin chain or something like that on, these swap module.
Sounds good. Unisat, we're pleased to announce the pizza minting process has reached 92%. We anticipate completing the minting process within the next 2 to 3 days. And then I guess that's when they start doing the airdrops, right?
I'm not sure. Are they doing airdrops or are they doing claims?
Well, I think we already claiming twice.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know.
So,
I mean,
yeah, I don't know. What's the cost going into? Is it going into inscribing or is it going into airdropping? Maybe both.
Yeah, I think both. Yeah.
But yeah, I know it's a minimum $1 million. It could be more.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Do you think pizza is going to hold its value at $2.50?
No, I do not.
You see it staying over $1?
Yeah, I think. Well, it depends, right? So, I think when you look at Whale Wallet and stuff like that, most of the time it's being overvalued there because you can pump things up there if you offer for yourself and all these things, which I know that happens.
Yeah.
But what could happen with pizza, because it is it's a free time, it's like a runestone type of deal, right? To where if you have points, then you claim a certain amount. So I think a lot of OGs are going to be happy. So it could like dip initially and then bounce back and actually go higher.
Yeah.
But it depends on like the marketing push behind it too, right? Because you see what Leonidas has to do day in and day out, but it's working. But I'm sure it's like tiresome, right? Is Unisat going to have like a team that is behind this to try to push it? I don't know. They haven't said, or they haven't really come out aggressively and try to push this. They did, put it on their website homepage and stuff like that. But I don't know. I think it's a risk if you're trying to buy them at 250. But it could pass that. But I do think that there's going to be a good amount of people that take profit pretty quick.
Yeah. And, we did have people say, like, someone big in the space was like, if this doesn't become the next big thing, you could see BRC20s being nowhere near as big as they used to be. Curious if your thought on that. If pizza fails, does BRC20 fail?
I don't think it fails. I think that it kind of shows that, people aren't getting excited about something similar to like runestones with runes than pizza with BRC20s. I think what makes or breaks BRC20s, in my opinion, is the swap module. If it is what they say it is, and it is smooth and a good experience, I think BRC20s do well, extremely well, actually. If it isn't, then I think they're in big trouble.
Sounds good. That's perfect. That was absolutely perfect. All right, guys, we got 287 people in here. We're going to get to your questions right now. You guys, please smash that like. And I just wanted to say real quickly before we get over there to the after hour, check out our partners, guys. Traverse.io, TraverseLabs.io, VerotheumDex.io, Fluid Tokens, BTC.fluidtokens.com, and then Ordinal Hive. The website is not up yet, but it will be soon. Check out all of our partners, guys. They are the reason we are able to do this every single day. So we appreciate those guys. And let's kind of jump right into it.
And real quick, you guys are really familiar with Fluid Tokens, Verothium Dex, and Traverse Labs, but Ordinal Hive is a ordinal trading sniping tool. Just to give you guys some context to what they are going to offer, but it's also a marketplace aggregator as well, right? And then they're going to be able to have a marketplace on Merlin. You'll be able to switch back and forth, all that great stuff. And so, yeah, it's going to be exciting, man. Really love those guys. We've met with them several times recently. But, yeah, let's get into some of this. Go ahead.
Real quick, it's some pretty awesome logos above us. Those logos are, I mean, they're pretty awesome. Yeah. So, yeah, man.
All right. Well, I'm going to go through the ones I've starred so far. I know there's more questions in here, but I'll go ahead and start off with these. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us for an hour. Almost 300 people in here. Great Tuesday. But yeah, let's get into the Ordinal After Hour here. I just want to read a little bit of John's comments here. John says, I am not poor, sir. I simply sell when you're bullish on something and buy when you're bearish. My latest track was $2.70 and you were bullish. I sold and bought back at $2 because now you're bearish. Interesting. I love the back and forth between you guys. You know, it's like it's funny. You guys know that it's just it's being funny with each other and not taking anything serious. So that's what it always needs to stay at. You know, when people take things so seriously, it just baffles me. But I also think what's going on in their life. You know, they might have something going on in their lives and stuff. But with you and John, it's obviously friendly fire, kind of just joking with each other.
Well, I did start a GoFundMe for John. I'm trying to get him out of the hole that he's in, and out of the trailer park and into a house. So if you guys want to do the GoFundMe for John, let me know, and I'll send you guys the link.
Yeah. Hey, he's making money off of your place. So he's getting himself out of there. So we'll see. Yashir says, congratulations for Ordinal Hive. It's a great project. I suggest everyone do the test net. I think you can earn something too. And get to know those guys. You know, we'll have them on the show as well, but like they're just super cool dudes, you know, really young, smart and focused, determined guys. So
yeah, man.
He also says, so Shizzy, at October 25th, we are invited to your pool party in your mansion, right?
Yep, October 31st. It'll be 15 years since the Bitcoin white paper. It'll be a Bitcoin white paper party at my Airbnb mansion because I'm not buying property.
Nice. Yeah, sure says, do we get a whitelist on Ordinal Hive? So we haven't talked about that yet with them, but we'll you guys know that that's something that we always look forward to. But I have the utmost confidence that those guys will be open to something. Yeah,
so I'll make sure you guys get something for sure.
Yeah, keep your ears open, either in the members stream or we'll announce it in the Discord. But we need to kind of talk about that first. Let's see. Disclosure Crypto says, could you look at Gary Network? No, sorry, we do keep it. Yeah. But we do keep it Bitcoin ecosystem as much as possible here. Sometimes we talk about Ethereum just because of the ETF and how it can affect even the alt tokens on Bitcoin as well. So we do stick to that.
I did see that Ethereum blockchain. He said 9 balls, and I was like, okay. But he said we meant 9 volts. Sorry, I just read that comment, and I was like, I have 9 balls. I'm like, oh, good for you, bro. I only have 2.
Yeah. Yeah, sure. Again, man, I have to go to all his questions because he always puts in questions for us. He says, do you use profit or stop loss on Surf? I think Shizzy does. I should more than I do. I don't as much. And you asked about NOT token. It is the Telegram main token, and because it's on Surf, we'll talk about it. It's the most popular, I believe, token on the Ton network.
Yeah, by far. Besides the Ton token itself, yeah.
Yep. BJJ Zach says, "Are you still bullish on Ghosty?"
Well, I have 70,000 ghosties, so yes, I'm very bullish.
He's gonna be very happy or very sad eventually.
I'm just gonna hold it. It's kind of like my it's kind of my play on the ecosystem right now. If it goes up, I'm happy. If it goes down, it is what it is. But so I'm just kind of playing it by ear right now. There is rumors of some potential news coming out with them. So whether it's the the airdrop or something, I'm not really sure. But we do hear some rumblings of some news with them. So just keep an ear out. Keep posted to their Twitter.
Yeah, I think it's just going to be really interesting on how they maneuver with the BRC20 token, just like the track BRC20 token, because those should be rewarded the most, in my opinion. They were the early believers in these projects. So whether they, give a really good reward for staking them or something, it needs to happen because if Ghosty loses and Track loses value, then you're going to lose a lot of faith in the tap tokens that they have, in my opinion.
100%. I agree.
Especially Track, because I mean, that's what everybody knows them as, right? Like Track. Even the tap token, everyone that's been in this space is like, oh, that's by Track, or this is Track, and Track. So Track has to stay strong, and Ghosty too, in my opinion, for tap or Spooky to do well.
I agree.
When do you think when do you think the second and third airdrop from Rootstone will be announced?
I thought it was going to be announced at 1 billion. So you could see that. You just don't know. I think he should give it time. I think he should announce one in like January and then like one in like June, the following June.
I agree actually with that. Because you need some time in between. You need dog to go to a certain point before you release anything else.
I agree.
eSpirit44 says, I'm concerned about the vesting schedule of TAP. It is quite aggressive for the first 2 years for seed and private investors. The team also gets token released at TGE.
Yeah, it's a lot coming out.
It is kind of the nature of VCs. We talked about this once VCs first came into the picture, which I want to say was like at the end of summer, right? Like there was no VCs here when we were here in last summer.
Yeah.
And
it was just what's his name?
Well, Trevor,
guy.
Trevor and the Bitcoin Frontier Fund and the BTC Startup Labs, which aren't VCs, but they have VC network, but they have the incubation.
Yeah, they're more incubators than VCs, I would say.
Yeah. But. And so but we kind of talked about this, towards the beginning of the fall, that hey, VCs have entered the picture. You gotta be ready for this because look, they still want their things to pump. Don't get me wrong. It's just a different timeline in terms of, in my opinion, and this is not financial advice at all, different timeline with profit taking, because for me, I'm thinking, that the profit taking has to be way more paid attention to when there's VCs involved, just because they have to make money too. Or, this is what they're doing it for, But in terms of aggressive schedule for 2 years, so then I would probably mark those dates on my calendar for the aggressive drops and be aware of that. Be wary or aware of what your plan is once coming up to that, because you don't want to wait till that day.
No.
But anyways, that's just me. I don't know how you feel.
Yeah, I'm bearish, man, on tap right now. I want to be bullish, but the 6% airdrop just gets to me, man. It really does. It's like I'm a community first guy, right? I fight for the community on every aspect of what I do. I am the community member first, right? And the 6% was a slap in the face to me. The fact that 4% went to advisors and 6% went to the airdrop. It's ridiculous. 12% to the team. I hate it.
8%
really
to the advisors.
Oh, 8%. Wow, that's even worse.
Yeah.
That makes my stomach hurt. When stuff like this happens, I want them to fail, but I like Benny, and I like the track ecosystem. I want them to succeed, but it's just giving me every reason to kind of bet against them a little bit here. But I think they can fix this though. I think they still have time to fix it. I'm hoping something changes. We'll see.
Well, I think you got to let that idea go of them changing it. It's not going to happen, in my opinion, because like the only way it happens
keeps dropping.
The token's not even out yet.
Well, I'm saying the track token, if it just keeps dipping and dipping and dipping.
Yeah, where's it at right now?
212. I think.
That's not dipping and dipping and dipping. It has dipped, but it's not like to the point to where it's at 218. Yeah, it's not that bad. I think that there are some indicators and flags that they have to pay attention to. How displeased are people? because again, remember we had a tokenomics guy that was kind of going through this, Francis, with us live, and he said that it wasn't that outrageous, it wasn't that crazy, you know. But again, Francis probably doesn't hold track and probably never did, and if he did, he probably flipped it really quick.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And so
100%.
I think your perspective is coming from someone that has known track for a long time and got into a position again for like, you know, these benefits. And then obviously it's like it feels like you got the wind taken out of you when you read that. So probably some of the community feels that way, but I think at a certain point it's like, okay, it is what it is. We got to see what they can deliver upon, you know, the rest of the things, right? Like,
that's what it comes down to. If you're not going to give back to the community, then you need to have a good product. And, you know, we haven't seen anything. You have a token before a product. Again, I think that's dumb. I think they should have launched at least a swap and then, or something, some type of promise. There's something before this token launch, but we see nothing. We see nothing. See nothing, hear nothing. That's the worst part.
Yeah. I will say though, you know, some of our partners and friends are working with tap projects, and they've been really bullish on what they've seen so far. You know, Traverse obviously is a tap token, and so when we talk to Abdul, he says that this is something that's going to be really big. He was talking about the ICP announcement yesterday, and you know, there's a lot building there. So I think we just need to, you know, pump the brakes a little bit. Let's see what gets rolled out here, and I think we've kind of made our point, or you know, our point in terms of like, hey, this was underwhelming. Right, for a tokenomics release, it was underwhelming, but we got to move on and see what happens next. And what happens next is going to be big. You know, I think is,
bro.
that thing that happens next is going to be either, in my opinion, is going to be make or break. Like if they release like a really solid product, or you know, with partnership with ICP, then that could change everything.
Or you know what could be big too? A track staking, where you can pop your track in and get some tap.
Well, they already said that that's what they're trying to do. So
well, we'll see. Yeah. I just thought it would be sooner. So
all right, William, is it Ganari? Says dog go to the moon. The dog coin is exploding. It can do 10x easily. It's the first meme on the Bitcoin network.
I wouldn't say easily, because $9 billion to come in is not easy. But could it do a 10x? Sure. Will that be a long time from now? Yes, that would be months and months and months. Towards the end of the cycle, I can't see it getting to 10 billion until it.
Well, it could hit it on the stride of like the heading into the peak of the cycle. It could hit 10 billion. It could actually peak. It could go a little bit more, but then it's going to be not something that's next week or even next month, but like everything has to be like running on fire. And then dog is like the SHIB, because like what happened with SHIB, right? Like SHIB last cycle was like in the beginning, a couple people got in early. Then next thing you know, like it's taken off, and then it gets on Coinbase and it's really taken off. We're in the cycle, and everybody's like talking about SHIB, and then it just gets better and better and better.
Yeah,
you know, in terms of the market cap, and that could 100% happen with dog. You know, but
you would need major exchange listings. You would need a Robinhood listing. You would need a Coinbase listing. You would need some major exchanges for to get to 10 billion. But it's possible. It's definitely possible.
Yeah, because I mean, think about it. When it's on Robinhood, then you got like my uncle and my aunt like on their phones and saying, "I just bought some dog," and and they like buy $50 or something. You know, but that's whenever like it could do the sheep thing, you know. So we'll see.
Really could. No, I agree. 100%.
All right, let's see.
Shout out Mr. Sheedy. He goes, the grind is awesome. Only way to move forward, at least until I get enough BTC to work for me. Yeah, man, dude. Get as much Bitcoin as you possibly can, dude. It's not financial advice, it's life advice. But shout out to you guys, man.
For sure. There's 330 people in here.
Let's go.
On a Tuesday. All right, we got our guy. Come on. Give a round of applause for Lou Ferrigno in the house.
Oh, man. Shout out to you, man. Thank you so much for being here, Lou. We know you're busy, like breaking stuff and doing crazy stuff, but we appreciate
Fountain of Youth. Fountain of Youth. This guy, man, was making. He was in the Hulk sitcom or the Hulk show in the 80s, and now he's still in crypto, man. He's in crypto. He's not letting that age get to him. Love it.
We
He
need a
says
Lou
dog.
Ferrigno coin.
Yeah. Dog on page 1 of CMC is great for runes. Yeah, it sure is. I've been noticing that. Whenever I go to CoinMarketCap, I just click on the search thing, and dog is like number 3. That auto propagate. So that's really big.
It's big. Yeah, it's huge. Huge. It's huge.
All right, let's see what else do we got here. Vaxone says, "Would you buy Ghosty today though?"
At 21 cents? Hell yeah. If I didn't have a bag, yes, 100%.
It is pretty chap. Oh, this was one thing too. Back to Lou. He says Ghosty is the everything bridge, and people haven't even noticed yet. You can turn off the anonymous to get cheap swaps too. So I don't know if we can say anything about this. No, we can't. I don't think yet. Just know that they're just know that they have a big role that's coming. But yeah, you must be in some good groups there, Lou. Bitmap Gallery
hit me up yesterday. They were like, "Yeah, just a reminder."
Okay.
So
We're
not going to say
Bitmap
anything.
Gallery says, "What's up, my G's? What's up, Bitmap Gallery?"
Bitmap.
Wendy Yam says, "How to split my big bag of runes in smaller bags." Can you walk her through that?
She got big bags. You could just easiest thing you can do is you can just send it to yourself. Let's just say you want to, if you have 50 and you want to trade 5 of them, just send 5 to yourself and then wait the block, and then you can do it that way.
Yeah.
Magic Eden used to have a thing when you used to get a portfolio, but I don't see it no more.
Really? I thought they did.
See it for yours?
Yeah. I mean, I used it the other day.
Where is it at though? Because I can never find it anymore.
You got to go to portfolio and then click on it.
Portfolio, you go to actions, right?
Well, you open it up and then you click sell, right?
Yeah.
And then hold on, let me see if I can do it real quick. So you open it up, then you go to list, or there's list and split.
Can you show me? I think I was going to portfolio, but
here. Basically, do you have yours open?
Yeah.
Okay, share your screen.
Okay.
Okay, so you need to go to actual
portfolio
runes. Yeah. And then go to open one of those up. Just open any of those up. Open it up. No, you need to do the drop down. Do the drop down. No, the drop down. No, go back to the left, the arrow. The actual, click that, and then you see split on the right. There you
Gotcha.
There you go.
That's where they put it. It wasn't there originally. They had a little spot over there. So this is Wendy. This is what you do. You can get max, and then you can split this a whole bunch of different ways. You can split it 10 ways if you want to, which will block for me. I actually might do this right here, right now, because that's actually probably good for when I do try to sell it. But yeah, so awesome. I'm glad you refound it for me, because I knew they had it. I just didn't know where they put it, but they put it under here, under your balances. So that's pretty cool.
Yep, that's pretty much it, man. That's all you gotta do, and then and you got it. So that's how you can split it, Wendy. Tim Madden says, "Can you rank tap BRC20 runes atomicals? Which could appreciate the most?"
Runes 1, BRC22, atomicals 3. What's the other one? Is there another one?
Tap.
Well, I mean, taps
3.
Tap and atomicals would be
mishmash.
Yeah,
I agree with that. That's pretty much the order that I would say. And he said, and DMT. DMT, I think, actually is going to have their own, they actually already have their own, community within our community.
Yeah.
And it's, I think they do well, but there's going to be certain ones. I don't think it's going to be a huge ecosystem explosion necessarily. I think certain ones do very well. It could, but you have to remember, to have a huge ecosystem explosion, you have to onboard normies. And so they just need to make it simpler for everyday people. What could happen over time, though, is you get enough people that are really interested in this one thing. It could build over time, kind of like a cult following. That could be what happens with DMT.
I'm bearish on DMT. I don't think it's ever going to be mainstream stuff. I think it's just too complicated. But I have a small brain, so maybe that's the reason. But
Ethereum blockchain says, I watched your video on Traverse Shizzy and it was awesome. I have 9 something now. Thank
Yeah.
you. Nine vaults, right?
Vaults, yeah, he meant vaults, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Mauricio says
Two
that was
balls.
funny. Yeah, that was funny.
They'll go to the moon.
Yes, sir. Dog go to the moon. Yasser says, in order to have operation like Opcat to be functional on Bitcoin blockchain, 51% of the miners should agree to have this function on the Bitcoin blockchain. Is it true? Yeah, I believe so.
So you what happens is that proposals come in every day. There's proposals for stuff, and there's like a voting system depending on your hash power for that day of that voting. And the more hash power you have, the more votes you get. So each miner basically has its own vote. So the more miners you have, obviously, the more hash power, and the stronger the miner is. If you have a newer version, that'll have more hash power, and you can vote with that. So you're voting with the hash power, and it's very rare that stuff gets passed. It's very, it's normally like every 6 months or 12 months or something. I mean, the last one was Taproot, and that was like November of 2020. So
yeah. Well, one thing that we've known since the history of man is that monetary value can sway even the toughest of minds. And so, we'll see what happens. We're heading into a bull market. I'm sure there's a lot of conversations that have, some really strong rhetoric attached to them to be very convincing. Yeah. We'll see what happens.
We'll see.
KaiFX says if Tap keeps their heads down working, I think they'll do well. We'll see. I think definitely building and releasing quality products can fix almost any issue, as long as you're not scamming.
The worst airdrop of all time.
Crypto Noob says we'll already find
genies out of our dodos.
Already fine. Okay. Okay. I don't know. I haven't really messed with their platform too much. We know the guy that's helped start it. It's, good marketplace supposedly and wallet, but yeah.
I hate dodos. I wish they didn't exist, but
let's see here. What else we got? I think we're getting close to the bottom.
I see one here. He said, are you into Solana meme coin trading? No, not at all. Not even a little bit. I have a Phantom wallet, but I think I have Bonk in there. It's like anything I have in there, but no, I don't really have anything.
Was it from a Bonk airdrop?
I bought it a long time ago, and it was like $100 worth, and it was worth like $700, and I was just kept it there.
Yeah. Well. All right. Well, last question here is Mauricio Leal, or it's not a question, statement. It says, I'm not sure if we need 51%. Opcat is not that big of a change. When we got RBF, by default, it was not like that. I disagree.
It was.
I disagree that it's not that big of a change. I know that, there's probably a lot of development that still needs to be built out for like smart contracts and stuff, but it's possible. It's a lot more easier to do with Opcat. So I just feel like it does make a big change. But I think that maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, you're putting that towards like not like that big. It's not a big threat that people thought it was, because there was one point where the opcodes were not added back to Bitcoin because they were afraid of, malicious, activities and being compromised. But supposedly that's all been worked out. We'll see.
I do think it's a big deal of a change. I think it's monstrous, to be honest. So
yeah. All right. We got a couple more that came in here. We'll finish up with these. Gooey Sog says, just got here. Have you talked about $1 billion cat yet? Have you talked? No, we have not.
So I noticed they did have a website, and I didn't actually have time to dig into it. Let me dig into it today. Come back tomorrow, and we'll have it up there, because I did see that they're building something over there. So I'll check it out deeper. It was really, really quick glance, and I seen it, and I have it written down as my things to do. So,
gotcha.
I see rumors of dogs exploding.
Who says that?
Someone in the chat here.
Oh
William.
shoot! Bitcoin is exploding. It's about to hit $71,000, and
Oh,
it's a
wow.
good. It's a really good write up too. It's not like
Yeah.
quick wicks and that's it. It's like built. It's like leveled up to almost 71 grand. So we'll see what happens here. If it, like I said, if it gets past 72.4 is the number, guys.
Yep.
If we can get past 72.4, I think it opens up for possibly some crazy price action with Bitcoin, which will be in turn, in my opinion, once it settles down, good for runes.
Yeah, very good for runes. I agree. I agree.
Hey, Shizzy and Yagobi, this is Crypto Hot News. What about the new airdrop of Leonidas will be a snapshot? I'm not sure when that airdrop's happening, but man, what a way to keep the value up for runestones too, man. I mean, this whole plan looks like
genius,
marvelous right now. But it gets dog gets to 10 billion, second coin gets to 2 billion, third coin gets to like 500 million. You're freaking that for like this bull run.
Yeah, for sure. If that's the only thing you had, if you let's just say you had like $500 in like track or something like that, or like a couple $100 in like I don't know, a couple meme coin or a couple, I don't know, whales or something stupid, right? And then you got the airdrop of the stone and you were like, no, I'm not going to sell it. Then you got the airdrop of the dog and you're like, you know what, I'm not going to sell it. And then you got the airdrop of the next coin and the next coin, right? You're like, no, I'm not going to sell it. I'm not going to sell it. And then you're sitting there with your three Bitcoin whales that are valued at like $300. You're sitting with potentially $20,000 from at the end of this bull market. Like, where can you do that at? There's nowhere you could take potentially $300 into like 20, 30,000.
Only in Bitcoin, baby. Only on Bitcoin's
100%.
ecosystem. You had a great
island.
Okay, I think next week I close on my private island. No, just kidding.
We know someone at a private island. Speaking of Bitcoin whales.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about Bitcoin whales. Those things, they should be way higher than they've ever been.
Yeah.
But anyways, but you made a comment. If you're comfortable about saying it.
I'm always
before we started the show, you said something about like if you never pivoted into like the Bitcoin ecosystem, where you would be.
Yeah,
so, I mean, you've always been a Bitcoiner in heart. I'm talking about like the new stuff that the past.
Yeah, year. I mean, I was a heavy Bitcoiner in 2020, 2021, and I missed out on a lot of gains. So that hurt me. So when everything was kind of going crap, I was like, I need to lead myself into different stuff. And I've always been big into Phantom, so I had a bunch of Phantom stuff. I've been big into Polkadot and Kusama. I had a lot of Kusama stuff, a lot of Polkadot stuff. And I was going through Twitter today, and I saw something from someone I used to follow from Polkadot, and they're like, yo, the Polkadot ecosystems, it's really starting to heat up. A lot of this stuff could be big. So I want to go check some prices. And a lot of the prices are from where I sold to get into ordinals. Right. So I was looking back and I was like, damn, if I would have stayed over there, I wouldn't have nowhere near the amount of Bitcoin value as I do today. And I say Bitcoin value because, like, obviously they're not Bitcoin, but like if I sold them for Bitcoin, how much Bitcoin would I have? And I have a lot more Bitcoin now than I would have had if I would have just stayed in those coins. So ordinals, it definitely changed my life. I probably wouldn't be able to do this full time if it wasn't for the changes that we made. And I mean, obviously too, the channel Ordinal Revolution, you know what I mean? So, and when you guys come here every single day and you guys give us the influence that allows us to kind of do this every day and do this for a living now. And we appreciate that 100%. But if I didn't make that decision, if Yagobi didn't help me make that decision, I don't know where I'd be. It'd be a lot different being over there in Kusama and stuff. It's sitting pretty much at the same market caps as I was. I couldn't imagine. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy. And I truly, I'm a person, that I have a faith, right? So I believe that things kind of align for a reason. Like there's a creator that's kind of doing things. And I felt like that was exactly what happened. I mean, like just the fact that all these things came together, in our DeFi discussion days, we sit there with, and we'd get like our guests would be our friends, so we love our friends, but it just changed, dramatically, but it didn't change like all of a sudden. It was like step by step by step, and then at the end of the day, the biggest blessing, in my opinion, is our community and and the people that watch and stuff. Because like Shizzy said, you guys are the reason why we are here every day, and we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts, and we thank our partners obviously as well. So
That's why we do the roll call, guys. Like that's a big deal for our show, because we want to shout you guys out. We want to shout the people who are here early, and that's why we started the first thing to really kind of show who's the most loyal to us. And then Danny Boy got that loyalty today, and you shout out Yazir and Mr. Sheedy and I Walk Alone and Crypto Hot News and all you got. Kai Effect, man, Kai Effect's always here. Marcel Lee, man, you got to be here more often, but we appreciate you, my friend. We appreciate all you guys, man. I'm just kidding. Johnny Utah, man, every single day. So we appreciate you guys so much, and I was
especially John. Shizzy appreciates you the most.
I got your GoFundMe up, John. I'll make sure that guys, if you want to give to John's GoFundMe, DM me and I'll send you the link. So we gotta get John out of his trailer. Yeah. And Cord Miller, man, you've been here all week, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, for sure.
Waddle making some moves today. Yeah.
And Mauricio says, I feel you, man. I started into Bitcoin with faucets, but because I had no money, ordinals changed my life. Yeah, man. I mean,
yeah, dude.
Multiple people, we hear that story all the time, like in our Discord or, different channels that we communicate in. And it has, dude. And it's crazy too, because it's not the typical way that like crypto changes people's lives. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not a get rich like tomorrow thing, which a lot of these tokens on Solana and stuff, you could do that if you time it perfectly and you know some groups and all this stuff. But like lucky. Over here, you get rewarded for the longer you've been here, right? Yeah. And the more you pay attention, the more you learn. This is one of the spots. Like obviously, the more you learn in life, the better it is for this scenario. But really, like with ordinals, and it's because it's an innovative like ecosystem. We've been here since it's been trying to build out. So.
Yeah. I hear you. Cord Miller has a question here for you. I'm also following the spray and pray approach. Do you plan to take profit into higher conviction runes to build those bags, keep rotating to the new runes, or just take profit into Bitcoin and chill? What do you say?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's perfect, Cord. I started to some of the ones that, maybe popped a little bit that, I have less conviction in, roll those into the ones that I have stronger conviction in. Definitely that's what I'm doing. And, it might take some of those a little bit longer to move just because you don't have conviction in them for a reason. Right.
Yeah.
But when the whole runes ecosystem takes off and it hasn't taken off yet, it's gotten some life. It's got a heartbeat now again. But like, obviously you can't compare Dog to the rest of the ecosystem. Yes, Dog has taken off and it's on a one-way mission to Moontown, but it's going to bring all of its friends once it gets to Moontown, right? It's going to hand select some friends and say, hey, you're invited, right? Not you so much. But my point that I'm making is that like, so, once the first, like, it starts to really move, that's when I think it's the best time to really offload those things, because that's whenever it's easiest to sell those things. Then you roll them into the higher conviction plays, which probably not too much long after that, depending on what your strategy is. For me, it's to cut most of those, like 95%. Maybe hold on to like one that's definitely like going to join this ride for 6 months.
100%. Because the name of the game is get as much Bitcoin as possible, right? I love Dog, I love runes, I love all types of different things, but then the number one thing in my life is to have more Satoshis tomorrow than I have today. That's it. You know what I mean? So, and I think that should be everyone's plan, because the way the government is handling the monetary system, it's shit. And I think Bitcoin is that escape route, that lifeboat that we all need. So
yep 378 people in here, guys. So 3 more questions popped in. I swear this is the last one. Backzone, you're the last one. Cord Miller says Pups announced an end date for the burn to claim, right? I don't remember seeing an end date. I'm not in Pups, so I haven't been paying attention as close, but we'll look into that for you.
We'll let you know tomorrow.
Dog, and then Perry says Dog is the only one you need. Good comment there. Sounds like Shizzy believes you with that. It sounds like he has a lot of Dog. And then Vaxzone says Ghosty buy today again. I thought you already asked this question.
Yeah, dude. If you want to buy it, buy it. Like, do your thing. Yeah. If I didn't have any Ghosty, I would, and I had Bitcoin, I would buy Ghosty. I think Ghosty would get me more Satoshis later down the line. So.
I have about 9,000 Ghosty tokens, and so for me, I'm good at that. That's just I don't. So that's kind of a balance between what Shizzy said and how I feel. So Hope you guys feel like your answers got or your questions got answered. You know, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for an hour and 34 minutes. And I think that's going to wrap up the show. Make sure you check out all of our partners. Look out for Ordinal Hive. Their launches are coming very soon. I'm trying to figure out where they are on my hand. They're coming very soon. They are building on Merlin. Their Merlin testnet is already built, but they're going to be announcing their launches for Merlin and BTC mainnet. Fluid Tokens has their DEX that's going to be released this week. So watch out for them. We are going to have, I believe, Raul on Thursday. Friday, sorry. Yeah, that's what I meant. Friday. And then VDEX is something that's rolling out this month. They're going to be a lot more aggressive, so look out for them. And then, of course, our guys from TraverseLabs.io. Security, best security solution on Bitcoin. Check them out. And then I think that's it.
Yeah, definitely check out ordinalrevolution.com. We'll be in Bitcoin Nashville. We'd love to meet some of you guys, man. It'll be cool to see some of your names. You will have to wear like a badge that says your YouTube handle so we can recognize you. But that'll be awesome to come out there with our guys. And if you guys want to go to a conference out there, you don't have to go to the conference. You can come out there to chill. But if you're going to the conference, we do have a 21% off coupon on our website, ordinalrevolution.com. And then if you're also going, make sure you're rocking something Ordinals, right? But if it's not from us, from someone else, but we do have some of the best gear there. So check that out. Just take a look at it. And I think that's the show, guys. Let's get this money today, right? Peace. See you guys.
We OG, we OG. Oh no, G. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Yeah, experts on reload. Yeah. You're not bullish enough. Yeah. Oh no, you're not bullish enough. You ain't got the oh no. I get stoned by the bolo. Bitcoin set to overload. Experts on reload. Mempool getting hot. Everybody wanna rock. Ayy. Rooms is coming. Everybody on a knot. Ayy. It's a nuisance. Ordinal Revolution. Ayy. Ordinal Revolution. Yo, is my guy for real, bro? Got French right now. Yo, BRC 420, bro. Yo, that shit on fire, bro. Imagine if he in here. Yeah, like it in the seal. Murder. I got balls of steel. Nookies on the field. Yeah, this shit for real. With no calls, I get so far. Got 100 phone calls that I go hard, and they gon' love me. Smoke weed, huddle back. I get shiesty. Where my Bitcoin looking lovely. All this Satoshi's nothing above me.